Our first guest, well, here's a funny guy, and it's not a minute too soon, by the way. A good friend of ours. He has a new HBO comedy series entitled Life's Too Short. Premieres February 19th. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ricky Gervais. Nice to see you, Ricky.
Oh,
how are you?
good.
Well, you've been a very busy fellow. You were hosting the Golden Globes Sunday night in California.
Yeah.
And now here you are, Tuesday back in New York City. Thank you very much for coming back in time to be on the show. I appreciate that.
I was getting out of town quick anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
This is your third time hosting that show?
Third time doing that and that, yeah. 21st doing this.
Is that right?
I know that means nothing to you.
No, it means a great deal to me.
Does it?
It means more to me than you hosting the Golden Globes 3 times. I don't know what it means to you, but for me, I'm honored.
Yeah, wow.
Now, are you done hosting the Golden Globes?
Yeah, I think so for now. I did it the first time because I was sort of quite flattered, and it's a huge global audience for a comedian. I like writing gags. That's what I do. I did it a second time because I thought I could improve on the first. And I wasn't going to do it a third, but then lots of people were saying he'd never be invited back. So I did it to annoy them.
Just to show them.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And of the 3, how do you rate them? 1, 2, and 3. Put them on the podium. How do you rate them?
This was my favourite because I think the audience was more receptive. I think it took them the first 2 to sort of get me.
Right.
I think the last time they just thought, why is he saying such horrible things?
Yes. Yeah.
But I think this time they sort of understood they were just gags, you know, or they checked them at security and checked if they got a sense of humour to get in. I don't know, but
yeah.
You know, last year they had a right stick up there. Maybe they had it removed.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Well,
it was great and it was fun and I you know, lovely. But I think 3 times is enough for anyone.
Yeah. Because I mean, of the many things you do, hosting award shows is probably not what you'll be remembered for.
It's not what I do either. I mean, I do that like some people play golf. It's not part of, you know, my thing. And win, lose or draw, you know, the next day I'm writing something. That's the fun for me, writing and creating TV shows. But it was, you know, it was just such good fun, you know.
Well, I liked it the year before when people were outraged.
Yeah, of course.
People, they were stunned. They couldn't believe that a guy had the courage and the brain power to stand up in front of famous people and make jokes about them.
I know.
Oh, my God!
I know. Like it was... It wasn't a room full of wounded soldiers.
Right.
They were people who pretend to be someone else for a living.
Right.
You know, it was no...
Exactly.
Also, you can't care what people think about whether they're offended or not, because anything you say, someone somewhere will be offended.
Oh, yeah.
And you know.
Yeah.
And just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. So, you know, who cares? You know.
We had a woman, we still do have a woman, depending on what security did with her, but we have in the audience who had a series of questions about your behavior on the Golden Globes.
Okay.
The references were golf, you playing golf, and your penis. Does that ring a bell?
What? Does what ring a bell?
Yeah.
It's a good party trick. Get me a bell and I'll do my best.
It is a good party trick. There's no...
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just Ricky.
It's got the bell out.
No hands.
So she's suggesting that there was something omitted from her version that she did not add up.
I did say, I said the list of rules they gave me, and I said no profanity, that's fine, I've got a huge vocabulary. And then I said no nudity. Oh, that's a shame, because I've got a huge vocabulary. But then I slipped in, but a tiny penis. So I did say penis. Yeah, so I've said it 3 times tonight. I mean, I don't know what the rules are, but, you know...
No, I'm the one who started it. I thought she said something about golf. Did you say anything about golf?
I didn't say anything about golf.
Okay, well,
I don't think.
Then we'll get her out of here, then.
But anyway, that was that, and I got out of town, and that's great.
Did you get drunk during the show? I saw you drinking.
Yeah, slowly, gradually, yeah.
What were you drinking?
I was drinking lager. Yeah.
And distilled spirits, what's your preference?
I like whiskey, but when I'm working... Well, see, I only drink beer when I'm working, like it's a soft drink.
Remember that, kids. That's a valuable lesson. When you're working, it's a beer.
I'm not a chauffeur,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I can drink at work. That's the good thing about being a comedian.
You know what? I watched two of these shows. The Life's Too Short.
Oh right.
I thought they were tremendous.
Oh, thank you. Cheers.
I can highlight things that I would like to talk to you about. One was the scene with Liam Neeson. Very funny.
Amazing.
And then the star, he hires an assistant. The young woman's name who plays his assistant, what's her name?
Her real name or in the...
You pick.
Her real name's Rosamund Hanson, and in the show it's Cheryl.
Yes.
And she's
very funny.
She's very she's not very bright,
No.
and he only hires her because she's cheap because her parents want her to get out of the house till 6 every night.
That's
so
right.
it's the worst assistant you can have.
Yeah. But what it did, it gave me, there's several scenes with you and Stephen Merchant in an office. And I think it's probably really what your life is like
exactly
in London. It's a beautiful sort of spare, lean, very modern, clean space in which you and Steve Merchant create. Is that how it works?
That's exactly right. And the sort of the joke in this show is that we're still bothered by everyone we've ever worked with coming in and saying, because we play ourselves, and saying that you do any more office, you do any more extras. So it's like we're trying to get on with stuff, but we're, you know. And Warwick comes to us, who was in extras, and who's 3'6".
He's a dwarf.
He is a dwarf. I think there's 300 types of dwarfism. Is this on television, this show?
Do you have a nickel on you?
Yes, I do.
Let me... What I like about when I like the extras, when I watched your show, The Extras, and then there was the second season of The Extras, and now this show, and of course The Office. But in this one in particular, the language of the script, the written word, is so reminiscent to my ear of The Office, is what I find very satisfying about this. Is that just because you are The Office, or is that something you were trying to do?
Well, I suppose, you know, you return to the same themes. It's a fake documentary like The Office, but I think it's moved on. I think if The Office reflected those sort of quaint docu-soaps of normal people being famous, like David Brent, this is more up-to-date, where people live their life like an open wound.
Right.
You know, those documentaries, they just let them do anything. So I think it's the same but different. I mean, that's, yeah.
It's very funny, as I mentioned, and the guy, the star, he's broke. His wife has divorced him and he's got no work.
Exactly, and he really is a film star. He was in films like Return of the Jedi and Willow and that, but the joke is that no one recognises him because his face was always covered.
Been made
exactly,
up,
yeah. So he's trying to get back, and he's trying to do so. So it's very funny. He's such a physical. He's got such humanity. He's just funny. So we had to make him like a little Hitler. So you have to really to bring out the, you know, the pain.
You made him like a little Hitler.
Well, he's sort of manipulative and he's nasty and he exploits other dwarfs. He runs an agency and he takes all the best jobs for himself and he hires them out to be fired from cannons and stuff. So it's about exploitation and, you know, of little people and stuff.
But he's very facile with the written word. Very, you know, he's very funny
He's
delivering
great,
the material.
He's like a silent movie star or something. He's just so funny and he's unbreakable. We can throw him and dress him up and
No,
he is.
No.
He is. I want to bring out a little Warwick doll. He's great.
Yeah,
he's great.
Now I'm so curious about your life in London. I know you have a flat here in the United States.
Yeah.
But I want to know more. I like
Why?
to quiz you. I'm fascinated by it. I would like to have a suite of rooms at the Savoy. Do you have a suite of rooms at the Savoy?
I don't, but I mean, I could sort you out with one.
Right. Would that be a good move for me?
What, to live there?
Well, no, just to have, so people say, oh, where's Dave? He's at his rooms at the Savoy in London.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah. Or you could probably, you know, I could probably pull a few strings. You could probably get a room at the Palace if they're not using
At
it.
the Palace?
Yeah.
No, that's too much. That's tacky.
Really?
That's tacky. Now, for example...
You've given up, haven't you?
Yeah. I have given up. Would you and your friend Stephen come to the grill room at the Savoy and we'd have lunch?
Yeah, we could have a grill.
Yeah?
Yeah. What would you have? A little pork chop and a sausage?
I don't know, whatever the special, what do you call it? The tasteless white fish that everybody gets there.
What's that?
You know, that's the broiled.
Out, can't you? You can cut all this. I mean, what would he be tweeting if he weren't here? It's like,
it's
you know, what's he going to be like in a couple of years? Because the last part of it usually is faster.
Dover Soul.
Dover Soul.
There you go.
What Grandad? Dover Soul.
I know, sad but true. So, the three of us would be there.
You two together, it's like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I just watched it. I love that guy. I love, but he's great.
Yeah.
I love him. I like his face. It's like a little testicle.
No,
In a good way. I love him. Who cares?
Now
Who cares?
you're talking.
This shouldn't even be on the air. It doesn't matter.
Now, the other thing we want to mention, another TV show, An Idiot Broad 2, The Bucket
Yes,
List.
Idiot Abroad 2.
With your friend Carl.
Amazing. Amazing. That starts next week on Science Channel.
I worry about him. I worry
Why?
about his family.
Why?
Well, do they mind him being exploited that way?
He's not being exploited, is he? No, what we did, we sent him around the world to see the...
Well, you lied to him.
Yep. Well, we had to lie to him because he hated the first one so much, but the TV show was good. It's my gift to the world.
I see.
He's one of these people that just sees life differently. So this time, we said he could choose from the bucket list things to do before you die.
That's
right?
a great
But
idea.
he didn't understand it. He said, why would you want to swim with dolphins if you're dying? I went, no, it's not a thing to do immediately before you die.
Get him to the dolphins.
Exactly, yeah. He said, it's nothing to do with dolphins. He said, they just want to go to the Bahamas for a free trip. He said, if you said there's a dolphin in the Thames, they wouldn't get in.
No, it wouldn't get in the Thames, of course
and
not.
we sent him to swim with dolphins, but when he got there, we'd swapped them for sharks.
Yeah. It's hilarious. Life's Too Short has already been seen on BBC Two, is that correct?
Yeah, it's gone out in England.
Big hit in England, was it?
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be a big hit for
All right,
HBO.
you can see it right here beginning February 19th on HBO. And An Idiot Abroad premieres January 21st on the Science Channel. Man, you are everywhere. Ricky Gervais.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, nice job, Ricky. Thank you very much.